Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching live Nantucket Whalers Athletics here from Vito Capizzo Stadium. We're just wrapping up senior recognition, so DC Collins is going to get back to the correct side of the stadium, and we'll get underway. But congratulations to all 13 of these graduating seniors. What an accomplishment. And it might be lucky number 13 for the Whalers and unlucky for their opponents. They're ranked number 2 in the state. DC is going to give you the breakdown of the upcoming tournament and today's game preview in just a moment. You're watching Whalers Athletics on the NSC and NCTV.
The board of Nantucket Youth Lacrosse and the coaches are wildly passionate about the sport of lacrosse and teaching it to Nantucket's kids. I'm Gary McCarthy, president of Nantucket Youth Lacrosse. The dedication of not only the players, but the parents and coaches to running this program is really inspiring.
So what I love about the Learn to Play program is when I show up every day, the kids are coming smiling and all they want to do is have fun.
This is my third year coaching the girls Learn to Play lacrosse team here. What I really like about it is that for those that are newer to sports, they're learning leadership skills, team building, communication. They're learning not only just how to pick up and pass and catch and shoot in lacrosse. There's so much more to be gained.
The beauty of this program is to grow the love of playing and then to grow the love of the game of lacrosse and playing the game of lacrosse.
I first got involved with Nantucket Youth Lacrosse back in 2012 when we had one U15 team, and it has grown tremendously. It has been incredible to be a part of such a program.
My passion for coaching I didn't know was there until I started. Being on the lacrosse board and helping out coaching has allowed me to kind of give back to Nantucket since it is such a wonderful community.
We're driven as a board to promote inclusiveness across social, cultural, and economic backgrounds. With your assistance, financial assistance, we've been able to do that. We've given scholarships for both registration and lacrosse equipment to over 60 kids. We've also partnered with the Nantucket Boys and Girls Club for all the first and second grade Learn to Play program and made the program completely free.
What this has done for us collectively with both teams has brought together a team spirit.
When I first moved here, I found myself kind of looking towards sports and my coaches and teammates to make relationships. But when I got on the practice field and strapped up, that's really where I took off.
It gives them an opportunity to meet their new friends that they may not see in the class all the time, have that team effort and support and friendships that are built. And it's also teaching them a new sport, which is really exciting as well.
Without the youth program, our high school team wouldn't be where we are today. A lot of that is because we've been able to bridge the gap between the youth program and the high school program. They all work together. They start working on plays when they're in U11, U13, and then they fine-tune them at U15, and it gives us the opportunity to grow.
And that's what it is. It's a pipeline. And if the bigger you can start the pipeline early, the more the high school is going to benefit in the end.
The time that they're able to spend together on the boat, on the bus, hanging out, our 50-minute game is actually an 8-hour game. These girls grow up together, they learn to work together, they learn how to travel together. It's one of the better organizations on the island, and I'm proud to say I was a part of it.
Look, this doesn't happen without you. We love the sport. We love what we're doing as a group. As I say, the board is extremely passionate, not just about lacrosse, but at building a community, a lacrosse community inside of Nantucket's community. So thank you. We're very appreciative.
I am a force to be reckoned with. You do not know who you messing with. Taking over for the hell of it. They can stop me when I'm in my element.
The Nantucket Sports Connection was born in this gymnasium. It has absolutely exploded. Multi-camera, multi-broadcasters, a trip to Fenway.
It's giving players an opportunity to look back at film. It's giving coaches an opportunity to critique their players.
When NCTV got involved, we were able to offer free classes. It's something that they can actually evolve and get professional experience.
When I realized they were doing like a commentating class, I was like, I gotta sign up for this. If I would have told myself right now, I'm gonna go into college for sports broadcast, I would have been like, no, you're not. But now I'm really passionate about it and I'd love to pursue it.
It doesn't even feel like I'm volunteering, it just feels like I'm playing along. It's very fun.
I definitely recommend it to anybody who's interested in sports broadcasting.
It's multifaceted what we're able to give back to our community, because as we know, we bleed Whaler blue here on Nantucket.
Nantucket Ice is about community, camaraderie, confidence, jumping in, and being part of a team. Falling, but getting back up.
And Whalers control. Quick shot.
It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island, it's about being a future for our youth, our families, our community. Come join us. Be a part of our community.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vito Capizzo Stadium here on the NSC and NCTV. I'm DC Collins, along with Aspen Silva on camera, Charles Douglas producing, and my partner today, Maddie Lombardi, as we finish out the regular season here at Vito Capizzo Stadium, as the Whalers boys lacrosse team will take on Martha's Vineyard. Hello, Whalers Nation. Welcome to the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV's presentation of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. We are coming to you live from Vito Capizzo Stadium. As I mentioned, Whalers will round out the regular season against Martha's Vineyard, season finale for both teams. We are on NCTV, Civic Channel 8, also worldwide on YouTube. Today, the baseball game against Martha's Vineyard, scheduled to start around 12 noon. We'll have that for you on Comcast Channel 1072. Before we get to our game preview, I want to thank our founding underwriter for sports on the NSC and NCTV. That's the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation. NCT, of course, was there at the clubhouse to bring you live coverage of their annual Nantucket Scholars Celebration last month. A really special evening for a lot of scholar athletes. The NGCF have made the students of Nantucket High School a priority of their philanthropic efforts and have continued those efforts with their support of our live broadcast. The Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, a proud supporter of Nantucket Whalers Athletics.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children.
So we got
For
about
more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit myricklaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
Don't worry about stumbling.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Back here at Vito Capizzo Stadium, I'm DC Collins along with Maddie Lombardi here on this Saturday morning as we welcome you in. Huge rivalry, Martha's Vineyard coming in with a record of 5-2. Nantucket, of course, they are 14-3. They last beat Pembroke just a few days ago. Nantucket looking to secure a home playoff game in the MIAA, and that'll probably take place next Friday or Saturday. Maddie, you know a few of these players on this team. Of course, you went to Nantucket High School. Graduated, came back to join us here in the booth. Jeremy Jenkinson, the goalkeeper, outstanding for Nantucket. The defense has been pretty superb for the Whalers so far this season, too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely have seen them throughout the years. This is a pretty strong senior class, and it's really impressive to see what they've done this season and just through their 4 years. So they're going to have big shoes to fill, but they're really leaving their mark on Nantucket lacrosse. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, for the seniors, there's a bunch of them. We honored them a few moments ago with the ceremony. The parents, the relatives are here. Martha's Vineyard, tough season for them. They are 5-12. Their goalkeeper, Ian Nunez, number 32, he's a sophomore. Of course, the Vineyard will be in purple. Nantucket will be in white. Whalers going left to right across your screen as we put 12 minutes up on the board. And for Nantucket, sort of really a tune-up to what they can expect possibly in the playoffs. They're keeping their eye on that team, Cohasset, who's number 1. Cohasset lost, apparently, a couple of days ago. So really anything up for grabs. After this game, they're going to have a few days to rest, scout the opponent before the tournament brackets and the seedings come out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything's definitely up in the air. I mean, Falmouth beat Cohasset, and we lost to Falmouth, so it's really anyone's game at this point. So they just got to be ready for playoffs, keep their head on swivel.
The Whalers only lost 3 games. Both of those were to Falmouth, and then the final one was to Shrewsbury. But so far, they won 10-3. We had that here on NCTV and the NSC. On Thursday, they beat Pembroke. Really looking solid. Of course, they've got Aaron Hanlon, who's got the speed. You've got Ken Jenkinson as well on defense, who did a remarkable job of just getting the ball in the back portion of the field and firing it up. And for Nantucket, everything running on all cylinders right now. Again, sort of just a tune-up game here against Martha's Vineyard to see how they stack up for the playoffs, as the referees will bring both teams out. Check the sticks, make sure everything is on the up and up. A reminder, we have Nantucket Whalers baseball, first pitch scheduled for just about 25 minutes from now at 12 noon. Dick Herman on the call for that one as they'll take on the Vineyard. Baseball struggling right now just a bit. A win and some help, and they could possibly get into a play-in game for the MIAA playoffs. But we know one thing's for sure. Both lacrosse teams, we're focusing on the boys today. That's our broadcast, but the girls lacrosse team's been pretty good as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been following them with their new coach. I think they've been doing great. I know they moved a league, but I think they have been really carrying on that pretty impressive performance as well as the boys team. So both girls and boys lacrosse have really shown what they can do this season, and I can't wait to see what they do in playoffs.
A little bit of a change up here before we start. It'll be number 18, the senior goalkeeper, Peyton Tabaris, in net between the pipes for Martha's Vineyard as we're set to go. And, of course, we talked about Jeremy Jenkinson wearing number 13 in net for the Whalers. He's really been outstanding. made a couple of great saves against Pembroke the other day. Nantucket looking to come out firing early and often here. We'll see how the speed affects Martha's Vineyard. As to take the faceoff will be Asher Sava, and also for Nantucket it will be Soren Edwards. As we've got 12 minutes up on the board, and we are set to go. Aspen Silva on camera. Matty Lombardi, my partner. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Mars today, still reeling over his Cavaliers going down 0-2 against the Knicks in the NBA playoffs, but his Cleveland Guardians won last night against the Phillies. So we wish Chris the best, and he'll be joining you for some playoff games further down the road as we are underway. And the opening faceoff is won this time by Sava. Bumped around, though, and a loose ball, and it's picked up. There he is, Hanlon once again for Nantucket. So what was interesting in the last game, Maddie, is that Pembroke sort of sat back on defense, and Nantucket wasn't fast and furious on the scoring, sort of setting up the offense, running it counterclockwise, looking for that perfect pass. See if they try to do the same here. If they're on the attack, first shot, that one is saved there by Tabaris. So Nantucket really didn't waste any time on that possession, whereas against Pembroke, took them about 60, 70 seconds or so to finally fire off a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good to wait for the right shot and not force anything, but sometimes you just got to go and let it rip.
See where the openings are. So here comes Nantucket. They pick it up once again. Jenkinson with it. Jenkinson on the move. Goes to the left-hand side. Now we'll just back it back out, and here is Hanlon once again. We're just about a minute in, scoreless here in the first quarter. Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, final regular season game for both teams here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Stringer has it now for Nantucket. Brings it over to the right-hand side to Miller. They swing it around again, that counterclockwise motion for the Whalers. Here's Stringer. Guarded there by Gregory. Actually, that is Sava on top of him. Now it's off to Miller. Miller trying to make a move, splits the defense. Pass in the center. Tried to get it to Hanlon, but it's knocked down. And here comes Martha's Vineyard the other way. Some rough stuff now. It's picked back up by Hanlon, so he does recover. Martha's Vineyard had, Maddie, an opportunity to clear right there and kind of blew it as Nantucket is still on offense. Behind the net. Out in front, shot. Another great save there by Tabaris. And the Vineyarders finally pick it up, and they're ready to clear out of their own zone. So a good opportunity for Nantucket, just unable to capitalize. As Miller comes off and Edwards goes back in for Nantucket. Here's a shot. That one goes wide, and they'll give it back to the Whalers. So you can see, I guess, on the, well, another steal here for Martha's Vineyard. As soon as they get it, they're ready to attack the net, whereas Nantucket is sort of setting up on offense. Loose stick, loose ball, and it's picked up by Nantucket. This is Jenkinson. Jenkinson with it over midfield. No score. We've got 9:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Hanlon with it. Hanlon being guarded there by Alves. Hanlon still with it. Hanlon centers it, and the pass goes off of Moskrop's stick. Recovered, though, there by Gavin Smith. Whalers just wheeling it around. They move it back up top. And this is Mooney with it. Gregory comes out to play him. Mooney backs up, surveys the scene. Still with it, still trying to make a move against Gregory. Goes to the right-hand side. Passes off to Hanlon. Hanlon fires a shot. That one bounces over the crossbar and out of bounds. So a possession still with the Whalers as the clock stops. 8:42 to go in the first quarter and no score. And just, Maddie, the contrast to styles. We mentioned it. The Whalers looking for the perfect shot, looking to spread things out a lot here in the first few minutes.
Yeah, this Vineyard defense is looking good so far, but I think we're going to break it soon.
There's a shot. That one sails wide as it was thrown on net by Mooney. Still Nantucket ball, though, as Gavin Smith will bring it back in. Again, no score. 8:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Nantucket looking to improve to 14-3. Again, there are only 3 losses, 1 to Shrewsbury and then 2 losses to Falmouth. Here's a shot. That one saved there by Tabaris. Gets his stick on it, able to corral it. And here comes Martha's Vineyard the other way. So a lot of time spent in the Vineyarders zone. Another shot. Tavares, though, stood tall, the goalkeeper, to make the save. Pass up ahead, loose ball, and goes out of bounds, and it'll be Whalers' ball going the other way again.
Yeah, I think the Whalers need to look for some composure right now. I feel like they're feeling a little frantic, but they definitely have that composure in them. They just got to settle down and do what they got to do.
Yeah, the Whalers trying to control the pace, especially on offense. It seems, though, when Martha's Vineyard gets it, they are ready to rock and roll right towards the goal, and they've had a tough time controlling the ball as well. Here's Nantucket with it. Faking the pass right there was Moskrop. Back up top, Nantucket will reset, and this is Mooney once again. Down to 7:05 to play in the first quarter, still no score. Whalers in white moving left to right with control here on the offensive end.
You can tell this Vineyard defense really wants to stop them because they know how strong that Nantucket can be. So I can tell they're coming for that ball.
Yeah, and it almost looks like a zone defense, too. A couple of players going man-to-man. As trying to make a move. Nice pass. Here's a shot. Another great save there by Tavares. That one ticked off of his stick and then popped high in the air, but able to make the save. Good goalkeeper is always the key to a good defense, too. And so far, Tavares, as we mentioned, has been steady in the net. Whistle and let's see. Timeout called here, I believe. So we'll keep it right here. 6 minutes, 29 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. No score between Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. As far as time of possession goes, it's been all Whalers. They've gotten a few good looks. Tavares, though, the goalkeeper for Martha's Vineyard, has been able to keep the ball out of the back of the net. When the Vineyarders have had control, it's really quick into the offensive end, firing for a shot, and then they have to get back on defense. Nothing really successful going in the way of Martha's Vineyard right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tavares with already 4 to 5 saves, I think he knows what's coming with Aaron Hanlon, Nolan Moskrop. I mean, they're pretty dangerous scorers, so I'm sure they did their homework on them, and they're ready to save. But I think Coach Aloisi and all their coaches are probably giving them a talking to right now, and they got to step it up, and they definitely will.
Yeah, Jeremy Jenkinson, the goalkeeper, really hasn't been challenged that much so far early on for the Whalers. Again, he's been watching his teammates about 50, 60 yards away in the offensive end, not really having to do much work there. Again, Martha's Vineyard comes in with a record of 5-12. Nantucket 13-3. Nantucket stands number 2 in Division 4 behind Cohasset, but Cohasset lost earlier this week, so we'll see how the brackets play out. Again, final regular season game for both of these teams here at Vito Capizzo Stadium right now. So after the timeout, we've got 6 minutes, 29 seconds remaining on the clock. No score between the Whalers and Martha's Vineyard. I believe they're going to give possession to Nantucket as they set up in the Whalers' defensive end. Nantucket in white moving left to right here in the first quarter. Martha's Vineyard, of course, the purple and white moving right to left. And one of the officials has the ball. They haven't pointed to who has it yet. It looks like it's going to be the Vineyard to start as we resume play with 6:29 to go on the first quarter clock, and they will have it. With it right now is Waldman. And this is the first real, Maddie, offensive set for Martha's Vineyard. The last 3 times they've been in the Nantucket zone, it's been on a breakaway.
Yeah, this Nantucket defense is strong, so hopefully we can keep them out of our zone and get back into offensive zone.
Working with it right now is Calheda. Moves in, fires the shot, actually goes behind the net. Tried to get it to Waldman. Now making a move. Callan fires the shot. It's loose out in front and finally corralled by Jenkinson. So a good opportunity for Martha's Vineyard right there. Didn't take much time on that possession, but did get a good shot. And Jenkinson there to make the stop. So we go the other way. Here come the Whalers on the attack shot. Oh, it hits the post. Nice move there by Lacusa. But he hit the post. He was wide open. And so we remain scoreless, 0-0 with 5:34 to play here in the first quarter. Some substitutions now for the Vineyarders as Dylan Moan checks in. He's guarded there by Moskrop. Moskrop pushes him out of bounds, whistle, and it goes the other way. Good defense there by Nantucket, forcing a turnover. A little rough around the sideline, but the official's going to let them play, and it benefits Nantucket right there. Now with it is Miller. Miller for the Whalers makes a move to the near side. 5:11 remaining first quarter, still no score. They whip it around to the far side of the field.
Whalers got to get some motion on this offense.
Yeah, everybody seems to be moving around. Shot, and that one goes in the back of the net. A score for Nantucket. And with 4:56 remaining here in the first quarter, the Whalers have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over Martha's Vineyard. A nice move right there. Great possession for Nantucket, and they capitalize as the movement sort of fooled Tabaris. Working around, Nantucket scores, and they take a 1-0 lead. That's Edwards with the goal for the Whalers.
I think it was Jake Grant, number 33.
Yeah, it is Grant. You're right. Got to check my eyes, but Grant with a great move, and he picks up the first goal of the game for Nantucket. And that comes with 4:56 left here in the first quarter. Grant was left wide open on the far side of the goal. Face-off won by Nantucket, but slapped right out of the stick of Sava. And here come the Whalers the other way. Hungry for more. They just got one a moment ago. This time it's Edwards with it. In the offensive end. Edwards with the long stick, making a move. Still spinning around, loses control of it. It's still loose right by midfield. Battle for it. Right at the X. And midfield, and picked up by Hanlon. Watch the speed from Hanlon right here. Blowing by one defender, and now we'll just pull up a little bit and hand it off as Nantucket whips it around clockwise to the near side. Here's Stringer for the Whalers. They lead 1-0, down to 4:08 to play here in the first quarter. Near side, here's Mosscrop with it. Back up top, he gives it to Mooney. Lacusa with it. Lacusa gets by his man, fires a shot, and that goes in. Marco Lacusa with the goal, and the Whalers take a 2-0 lead with 3:49 to go here in the first quarter. Now, the goalkeeper, Tabaris, might have been screened on that, Matty, but Lacusa rips it, makes it bounce. Of course, with the turf conditions here, bounce might have gone a little left or a little right, got by Tabaris. Easy possession for Nantucket and a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I think Jake Grant and Marco, they really opened up that offense, and so I'm sure they're hungry for more goals now, and they're really going to get that spark going.
Yeah, the communication for Nantucket is really something that I noticed last game against Pembroke, where everybody's talking, everybody's moving. They're anticipating where the flow of the play is going to go, and that's really key to get past your defense, or the defense of Pembroke last game and Martha's Vineyard in this game. So Whalers up 2-0, 3:49 to go here in the first quarter. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris, along with former, four-sport athlete? How many did you play when you were here?
Three-sport athlete.
3 sports. Maddie Lombardi here joining us in the press box for final regular season game for both of these teams, Martha's Vineyard and the Whalers. Which one was your favorite one to play? Can you say? Do you have favorites?
Hard pick. I could say lacrosse. I would say lacrosse.
What was the toughest one for you to play?
I mean, probably lacrosse as well. I mean, we had such a intense program. Coach Jamie Lower is one of my best coaches I've ever had in my life. But it was awesome.
So Maddie Lombardi joining us on DC Collins as the Whalers have a 2-0 lead. We're down to 3:08 to play in the first quarter. Now, what would your father, Travis, say was the toughest one for you to play?
I don't know. I mean, they were all intense. I think maybe basketball was his favorite, and he loves to see me progress in that, and he would push me in that one the most. But I'm on to rowing now in college.
Hey, wow. There you go. A pure athlete, Maddie Lombardi here in the press box. We've got 2:40 to play here in the first quarter. Whalers up 2-0. Another turnover as Jenkinson picks it up. Quickly gets it up ahead into the offensive end. This is Jake Grant, another senior with it for Nantucket. Again, they honored the seniors here in a pregame ceremony at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Lots of them. And here's Miller. Miller over to Hanlon. Hanlon with the shot. There's the quickness from Hanlon right there, and that one just misses the far post and goes out of bounds.
Yeah,
You've seen Hanlon play as well. One of the fastest kids probably in Nantucket high school history with his speed. Just turns on the jets.
He is fast. And football, lacrosse, you name it, he's he'll fly.
Here comes Nantucket once again. Over to Hanlon. Hanlon with the shot. Oh, great save right there by Tabaris. Whalers still with possession, though. We're down to 1:54 to play in the first quarter and a 2-0 lead for the Whalers over Martha's Vineyard. Tabaris makes another save. See if the Vineyard tries to slow things up just a bit. Again, this defense has been stifling for Nantucket. Vineyard usually just one and done on their shots, and really we've seen most of the play stay to the right side of your screen in the Martha's Vineyard defensive zone. Another loose ball picked up by Martha's Vineyard. They get it ahead, but the pass goes astray. It's picked up there by Halby. Halby looking to move in, but here comes Jenkinson all over him. Back up top, they get it to Hoff. And now with it, bobbling it is Calheda. This is Halby. Trying to make a move against Hanlon. Can't get by him. That's Lacus, actually. And that one goes wide. It'll stay with Martha's Vineyard as the clock stops with 57 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. A 1-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. There's Callan with it against Hanlon. Hanlon gives them a bit of a push. They get it behind the net. Now out front, and the pass goes astray all the way to midfield, and still loose. And a procedure penalty, or procedure violation, so Nantucket will have it in the offensive zone once again. 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Let's see if the Whalers try to hold for the final shot as they lead 2-0 here. Over to, this time back up top to Stringer. Stringer will hand it off to Miller. 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Nantucket on top. This time it's Stringer again. Stringer trying to make a move against Alves. Stringer with it. Fires the shot, score. Oh, he ripped that from the side. And now a 3-0 lead for Nantucket as Noah Stringer capitalizes with 11.4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. That one was a laser beam that Stringer just went around the side, sort of like a sidearm delivery pitcher, and whipped it right past Tabaris. So 3-0 Nantucket. So how big is the communication in girls lacrosse as well? Always moving, players going to different sides of the field, lots of talking, lots of chatter?
I think it's 100% crucial, especially when I played on defense. I mean, you can't have a good game without communicating with your offense, with your midfielders, with your goalie. Communication is honestly key for any success in lacrosse, I'd say.
We get a whistle.
It's like an offensive, maybe.
Yeah, foul against the Whalers, so the Vineyarders will have it with a second left, and that'll just about do it as the horn sounds. It's been all Nantucket through the first 12 minutes as the Whalers have jumped out to a 3-0 lead over Martha's Vineyard. We will take a quick break and be back to Vito Capizzo Stadium in just a moment here on the NSC and NCTV.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
We'll be back in about a minute 20.
Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by Myrick, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit myricklaw.com to learn how Myrick can assist you with your legal needs.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by MIAA, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MIRIClaw.com to learn how MIRIC can assist you with your legal needs. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection.
And welcome back to Vito Capizzo Stadium. Start of the second quarter. Nantucket with a 3-0 lead over Martha's Vineyard. Along with Maddie Lombardi, I'm DC Collins in for Chris Mars today. 11:36 remaining, and now Nantucket has jumped out to a 4-0 lead right off the bat as they beat Tabaris. And the Whalers rolling along here in the second quarter early on. Another great offensive movement there by Nantucket.
Yeah, great pass from Edwards to Nolan Mosscrop. That was a great play.
We see it right there. Edwards to Mosscrop on the far side of the goal. And the Whalers rolling along here on this Saturday morning. Again, Nantucket scheduled to have a home game to start the MIAA playoffs. And most likely, well, we know it'll take place here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Not sure whether it'll be Friday afternoon or possibly Saturday morning of next week. Stay tuned. We'll have coverage for you here on the NSC and NCTV. As Martha's Vineyard trying to get something going. The pass goes over top of the head of Truman Halby, though. And so Nantucket will have it. Whalers up 4-0. Clock running with 11:17 to go in the second quarter. And into the front is Whitfield for Nantucket. Ball's still loose. Beeson chases after it, though. First one to get it is Grant. He's got some speed as well for Nantucket. Whalers in white moving right to left here in the second quarter. This is Hanlon with it. Guarded by Beeson. Back up top, here's Stringer. Stringer trying to work against Alves. Stringer to the center, fires the shot up high and scores. And so Noah Stringer, another senior, with another goal for Nantucket. It's now a 5-0 lead for the Whalers with 10:37 to go in the second quarter. And former Whaler athlete Maddie Lombardi with us here in the press box. How important are these games against the Vineyard? I know sometimes they can be lopsided, but still, you know, when I first got here on Island a long time ago, 13 years ago, they said, you know what, it's great winning an MIAA championship. That's the creme de la creme. Winning the championship, getting to the playoffs is good, but beating Martha's Vineyard just tastes a little extra sweeter every once in a while.
It does. It is really just a different feeling, that rivalry. It's just so fun to squash those grapes.
Squash the grapes. So what's more rewarding, winning on your home court or home field, or going over to Martha's Vineyard and knocking them off and coming back on the boat ride? What feels better?
I think it's pretty awesome going over to their turf and beating them there because we're just killing them on their own turf.
And the boat ride's a little bit more smoother.
A little more fun, yeah.
Especially if you have lots of friends and family on the boat rooting you along.
It's a great time. I miss it already.
Yeah, that game that we had at Fenway Park, the Island Cup football game a couple of years back where Nantucket won too. That was something special for both teams, but again, a little bit more sweeter for the Whalers as they came away with a victory. So we've got 9:57 to play here in the second quarter. It's been all Nantucket. Whalers up 5-0 over Martha's Vineyard. Whalers again with a record of 14-3. Their only losses coming to Shrewsbury and twice to Falmouth. And Martha's Vineyard struggling this season with a record of 5-12.
Nice interception there by Paxton Fitch.
Yeah, Fitch played a pivotal role in their game against Pembroke on Thursday when we were here. Whalers rolling right now with a 5-0 lead and 9:30 to go before halftime. Ball's loose in the Vineyard defensive zone. It is picked up, though, that time by Moan. Trying to make a move. All over him was Paxton Fitch. Maddie just mentioned him a few moments ago. And now with it for the Vineyarders on the near side, this is Moan again. Pass goes behind the net. Halby can't handle it, now picks it up. Martha's Vineyard looking for their first goal. That shot sails wide over the net. Martha's Vineyard, though, will still have possession. 5-0 lead for Nantucket, 8:53 left in the first half. Finn Cowan now with it, gets it back up top. And it's loose, picked up by Moon. Great defense by the Whalers. Oh, great turnover right there, or at least the ball is loose. Edwards knocked it away. Still loose. Who's got it? Still fighting for it right at the midfield stripe. And it will be Whalers' ball. Clock running with 8:24 left. This is Mooney with it. And the shot, that one whistles wide. Whalers still with it. It'll be Grant to take it. Grant guarded there by Beeson. Over to Miller. Here's Hanlon. Hanlon back up top. Tried to get it to Mooney. Mooney tried for that one-timer. Now fires the shot. That one bounces up high and over the net. So it'll still be Nantucket possession. 7:55 to play in the second quarter. All Nantucket right now. They lead Martha's Vineyard 5-0. Along with Aspen Silva and Maddie Lombardi, former Whaler athlete. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris as we welcome you into Vito Capizzo Stadium here on the NSC and NCTV on Channel 8 today. As Nantucket winds down their regular season. As that shot ricochets off the post, goes all the way back out to midfield. And the Whalers sitting at number 2 in Division 4, hoping for, and they will most likely will get a home playoff game next week. Now another whistle and a procedure penalty, so it'll be Martha's Vineyard possession. Boys baseball team taking on Martha's Vineyard as well. That game just about to get underway. Down the street from us, Dick Herman on the call with Charles Douglas. As the baseball team rounds out the regular season as well. Hoping to make the playoffs. Probably will get a play-in game. They need some help, though. And the MIAA playoffs start next week. Martha's Vineyard with a shot. That one sails wide.
Great defense by the Whalers here.
Yeah, we really haven't seen, again, sustained possessions from Martha's Vineyard in the Whalers' end. As that pass goes astray, and it goes all the way to midfield and picked up by the Whalers. So another turnover from Martha's Vineyard. And here comes Nantucket. They've got numbers if they hurry. Ball was bobbled by Mooney. He recovers, though, nicely. All over him is Bueller. Still making a move. Shot. That one bounces wide. As Mooney tried to do a lot there on that possession. But still not too bad, as now Martha's Vineyard will get it. And try to get something going on offense. We're down to 6:38 to play before halftime. And a 5-0 lead for the Whalers. This pass airmailed ahead. Vineyard has it. Turnover, though, and here come the Whalers. Whalers on the move. Here's Mooney with it again, and his pass goes astray. He tried to connect with Lacusa, but a little too far out of his reach. Some substitutions now. Hanlon back in for Nantucket. And also stepping back onto the field is Stringer. Tabaris, the goalkeeper from Martha's Vineyard, with it. Martha's Vineyard in purple going left to right. Whalers in white and blue going right to left. Another turnover by Martha's Vineyard. And here's Nantucket. And now the Whalers will just slow things down in the offensive end. Miller to Hanlon. Hanlon with lots of room to work with. Calheda backs off of him. Lots of movement behind the net for Nantucket now, as Hanlon moves to the near side. Hanlon with the move, fires the shot, and that one goes wide. That one whistled past goalkeeper Tabaris, and the Whalers will still have possession. Grant, and that shot knocked down by Tabaris. Good one right there by Moskrop. And Tabaris has done pretty well in net for Martha's Vineyard. The goals that he's given up, it's sort of been Nantucket has been left wide open, so the defenders for Martha's Vineyard really need to step up a little bit more, protect their goalkeeper, because he's been solid in net when he's had a chance to save it. But a lot of times that tic-tac-toe passing of Nantucket, it's just too much, too fast for him.
For sure. I mean, I think that's why they got to keep the offense moving. If they keep moving, that goalie's going to get set off. So as long as we keep the ball moving, no arrogant passes.
And it doesn't help that the Whalers have dominated time of possession either. Almost
Exactly.
A 2-to-1 ratio here with Nantucket holding onto the ball. 5-0 Whalers, clock running, 4:50 to play here before halftime on Senior Day at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Some fans in the stands and lining up around the fences. Martha's Vineyard finally with possession. Let's see what they can do with this one. Again, a pass goes astray, takes a bad hop off of the grass field, and corralled by Hanlon. Tries to split the double team. He loses possession. Still loose on the ground, though. Who could pick it up? Oh, big check right there as Grant ran over a player for Martha's Vineyard. That was Alves. And that'll be a whistle. And Martha's Vineyard will get possession again. Official talking to Hanlon, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout. We will keep it right here. Clock stop, 4:23 left here in the first half. It's been all Nantucket, 5-0. As I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris here with Maddie Lombardi. So tell us, what have you been up to? Where are you going to college? You said you're doing rowing. What's the scoop since you left here?
Yes, I'm at Marist University in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Red
really
Foxes,
awesome.
right?
Yes, we're the Red Foxes. I walked on the rowing team, Division I, and we just
Okay.
had our conference championships last weekend. And my team came in second, but
Wow.
I ended up with a gold medal in my boat, so it was
Excellent.
really awesome.
That is excellent news. So how do you approach that walking on? Just say, hey, I think I could do this. Let me have a chance, and then just try to plow through?
I mean, I didn't really realize, but in college, women's rowing is a really big walk-on sport. They want a lot of people who are athletes in high school and just to, if they're athletic and they are coachable, to walk on. And my dad felt like I was one of those, so I was like, you know what, why not? And here I am.
And here she is up in the press box with us, Maddie Lombardi, former athlete here at Nantucket High School. You guys are in the MAC conference, correct?
Yes.
So St. Peter's, Ryder, Manhattan, Iona, all those other schools, that's who you go up against too?
Yes.
And Siena too? What's the biggest rival? Is it Siena?
It's actually Siena for most of our sports, but for rowing, it's Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
They are in our conference. Who knows why, but
all right.
They're really good, and they won this year, but we'll get them next year.
Okay. Well, congratulations. What do you plan on playing anything in the fall?
No, I have to do rowing's it's year round, so
okay.
Just row.
And what are you studying over at Marist in Poughkeepsie?
I'm actually doing sports communications.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, perfect fit right here.
Yeah.
Glad you could join us here on the mic here at NCTV and the NSC. That's Maddie Lombardi. You might remember her as star of the basketball team as well here at Nantucket. So we are back underway. 4:15 to play. First half, 5-0 Whalers over Martha's Vineyard. Whalers have dominated the first about 25 minutes or so. First real true possession for Martha's Vineyard, though, here in the second quarter. And getting triple team there is Canalmen. Got whacked in the head, no call. A little bit of a rough defense there by the Whalers. As they try to pass it ahead, it goes behind the net. Here's Waldman to pick it up. Waldman guarded there by Yates. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. 5-0 Nantucket. This is Lacus. Can't get anything going. Goes behind the net. Here's Halby with it. Back up top. This is Callan. Callan spins, fires the shot. Knocked down by Jenkinson. Oh, so smooth in net is Jeremy Jenkinson, the senior. Gets it up ahead. Here's Fitch with it. Fitch with a full head of steam. Loses control for a moment. All still loose on the ground. Great job of boxing out by Grant to allow his teammate Stringer to pick it up. That's a smart move, heads-up play. Grant knew he was going to get bumped around. Figured he didn't have a good opportunity to pick it up. Box out the Martha's Vineyard player. Let Stringer come by with a free pass to pick it up. Heads-up play right there.
Yeah, Jake Grant's been a really good playmaker on this team for the 4 years he's been here, I've noticed. He may not score all the goals, but he's definitely creating some opportunities for them.
Well, it seems like the games that we did, everybody contributes, whether it's an assist or a great pass from the defensive end, an airmail pass, a Hail Mary. As the shot by Hanlon, a bouncer, that one goes in the back of the net, and the Whalers score another goal. It's now 6-0 Nantucket with 2:34 to go in the second quarter. Everybody contributes right there. Hanlon with the speed and Carip those bounce shots. You mentioned Grant as well with the passing and the boxing out. And so Nantucket on a roll right now with 2:34 left before halftime and a 6-0 lead over Martha's Vineyard. Hanlon, one of the leading scorers here for the Whalers. And the faceoff will happen right at midfield. This is Edwards going up against Sava. Edwards trying to control, taps it up ahead. Again, he couldn't control it, but just flicked it up ahead to Grant. Grant for the Whalers now, trying to make a move. Near side, it's Mooney. To Hanlon. Hanlon with the speed. They look to double team him for a moment. Now back up top, here's Mooney. Mooney had an opportunity for a shot. Instead, we'll just back it back out. 6-0 Whalers, 2 minutes remaining before halftime. Stringer with the pass. Here's a shot. Good block there by the goalkeeper, Tabaris. And Martha's Vineyard will pick it up and try to go the other way. Alves trying to escape. Up ahead, ball near the sideline, goes out of bounds. And they will say Whalers with the possession with 1:40 to play. There's a shot and a score. Wow. The long stick from Ken Jenkinson. He joins the party and scores the goal for Nantucket. And now with 1:34 to go here before halftime, it's a 7-0 lead for the Whalers. Well, Jenkinson said, you know what, let me do it myself. Let me see. They left him wide open right down the middle of the field and blew that one past Tabaris.
Yeah, Canton Jenkinson, another great athlete on the Whalers team in football, hockey, lacrosse. I mean, this senior class, the chemistry between them is really insane, and it's going to be hard to lose them, but they're really, really amazing.
Yeah, a lot of these names sound familiar from the first football game we broadcast on the road back in September. A lot of these guys, 2- and 3-sport athletes here on Nantucket, and doing a fantastic job so far. Procedure penalty against, let's see, the Whalers. So Martha's Vineyard will have it. Vineyarders looking for something to stir up on offense with 90 seconds to go before halftime. Again, we mentioned it's been all Nantucket here in this matchup so far. Jenkinson again, nice stick handling move. Oh, perfect pass as he flips it over to Edwards. Edwards has Grant to his left. Gets it off to Grant. Now we'll check out, and checking back onto the field is Miller. And with a minute remaining in the first half, Whalers up 7-0. See if Nantucket just slows this pace down just a bit. Nope. Fire a shot again, looking for more, and that bounces over the crossbar and out of bounds. Clock stops, 52.1 seconds left. Hanlon back in as Smith comes to the sidelines. Now moving around is Stringer. Stringer trying to get away from his defender. Back out to Hanlon. Look out, Hanlon with speed. Hanlon gets by one man, fires a shot. Oh, great save right there by Tabaris. He saw that. Even though it almost whistled by him, he picked it up. Vineyard now in the offensive end. Down to 25 seconds to go here in the first half. And a whistle, and Martha's Vineyard will call timeout. So again, we'll keep it right here. 7-0 Whalers. 23.3 seconds to go here before halftime. And Martha's Vineyard will have possession. And really, we've beaten it like a dead horse, Maddie. Nantucket with the 7 goals, the time of possession. Vineyard just can't seem to get off the block and get anything going on offense.
Yeah, I mean, the Vineyard, I can tell that they're nervous. They're nervous against that Whalers defense because that defense is strong. They're locked in. So I can tell because their drop balls, like the kind of miss passes, but they're trying. They're trying, and we can't have the Whalers get content at all. So they got to keep up this work.
Yeah, the Whalers definitely able to get to the loose balls a lot quicker than Martha's Vineyard. Again, we have to give the praises to Peyton DeBarris, number 18, the senior goalkeeper for Martha's Vineyards. Made some pretty good saves right now. Otherwise, this could be a double-digit lead for Nantucket. Martha's Vineyard will have possession with 23.3 seconds left here in the first half. Again, Nantucket comes into this contest 14-3. There were only 3 losses. One was to Shrewsbury and then 2 losses to Falmouth. Last check, they were number 2 in Division 4. Martha's Vineyard with a record of 5-12 so far this season. So the ball will be in the Martha's Vineyard offensive end. Jenkinson will step back in net for Nantucket.
Jenkinson hasn't faced too many shots, but the ones he has have been great saves.
Yeah, he has been sturdy in net all season long. As Canalmen will start it back up for Martha's Vineyard. Clock running, just 14 seconds left to go in the half, and the pass goes astray. And this will be Whalers' ball. Let's see if Nantucket tries for the final strike with 12.5 seconds remaining. See if they throw the long bomb pass. They try to get it to midfield. Knocked around. Here comes Hanlon, though. Hanlon with 6 seconds left with a shot. That one taken by Lacusa. Goes over the net, but a whistle stops play with 3.3 seconds left. I think Hanlon got bumped. So Nantucket will have it. See if they try for a quick pass and a shot. With the ball right now is Grant along the near side. 3.3 seconds left, 7-0 lead for the Whalers before halftime. They get it to Hanlon. The ball is loose, though, and the buzzer sounds, and we have reached halftime here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. It has been all Nantucket Whalers. Hanlon with a few goals and just a solid effort so far as we head to halftime. And the Whalers with a 7-0 lead over Martha's Vineyard. We'll take an extended timeout, and we will be back with second half action here from Nantucket. You're watching Nantucket Boys Lacrosse. They lead Martha's Vineyard 7-0. We're at the half on the NSC and NCTV.
Okay. I am a force to be reckoned with. You do not know who you're messing with. Taking over for the hell of it. They can stop me when I'm in my element.
The Nantucket Sports Connection was born in this gymnasium. It has absolutely exploded. Multi-camera, multi-broadcasters, a trip to Fenway.
It's giving players an opportunity to look back at film. It's giving coaches an opportunity to critique their players.
When NCTV got involved, we were able to offer free classes. It's something that they can actually evolve and get professional experience.
When I realized they were doing like a commentating class, I was like, I gotta sign up for this. If I would have told myself right now, I'm gonna go into college for sports broadcast, I would have been like, no, you're not. But now I'm really passionate about it and I'd love to pursue it.
It doesn't even feel like I'm volunteering. It just feels like I'm playing along. It's very fun.
I definitely recommend it to anybody who's interested in sports broadcasting.
It's multifaceted what we're able to give back to our community, because as we know, we bleed Whaler blue here on Nantucket.
Yes, sir!
Boston Pops.
Who are you, rivalry?
We're in a tough situation. You guys battled back.
Back to pass Lombardi's got a man in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Shot. It runs in. It's good.
You got a tie ball game.
It's ahead. Gets it by.
Loading is open.
very much.
My mark, hit my mark, hit your mark.
We're so glad that you were involved and you enjoyed the films.
I get to put this out into the community today, and I was really excited about that.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
We're just getting started.
The Nantucket Booster Club is a vital link between our community and Whalers athletics.
Volunteering for the Booster Club, it's a blast. More than money, we need members. We need to build our community bigger and better to help our student athletes prepare for the next chapter in their life.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Whistle.
The board of Nantucket Youth Lacrosse and the coaches are wildly passionate about the sport of lacrosse and teaching it to Nantucket's kids. I'm Gary McCarthy, president of Nantucket Youth Lacrosse. The dedication of not only the players, but the parents and coaches to running this program is really inspiring.
So what I love about the Learn to Play program is when I show up every day, the kids are coming smiling and all they want to do is have fun.
This is my third year coaching the girls Learn to Play lacrosse team here. What I really like about it is that for those that are newer to sports, they're learning leadership skills, team building, communication. They're learning not only just how to pick up and pass and catch and shoot in lacrosse. There's so much more to be gained.
The beauty of this program is to grow the love of playing and then to grow the love of the game of lacrosse and playing the game of lacrosse.
I first got involved with Nantucket Youth Lacrosse back in 2012 when we had one U15 team, and it has grown tremendously. It has been incredible to be a part of such a program.
My passion for coaching, I didn't know was there until I started. Being on the lacrosse board and helping out coaching has allowed me to kind of give back to Nantucket since it is such a wonderful community.
We're driven as a board to promote inclusiveness across social, cultural, and economic backgrounds. With your assistance, financial assistance, we've been able to do that. We've given scholarships for both registration and lacrosse equipment to over 60 kids. We've also partnered with the Nantucket Boys and Girls Club for all the first and second grade Learn to Play program and made the program completely free.
What this has done for us collectively with both teams has brought together a team spirit.
When I first moved here, I found myself kind of looking towards sports and my coaches and teammates to make relationships. But when I got on the practice field and strapped up, that's really where I took off.
It gives them an opportunity to meet their new friends that they may not see in the class all the time, have that team effort and support and friendships that are built. And it's also teaching them a new sport, which is really exciting as well.
Without the youth program, our high school team wouldn't be where we are today. A lot of that is because we've been able to bridge the gap between the youth program and the high school program. They all work together. They start working on plays when they're in U11, U13, and then they fine tune them at U15, and it gives us the opportunity to grow
And that's what it is. It's a pipeline. And if the bigger you can start the pipeline early, the more the high school is going to benefit in the end.
The time that they're able to spend together on the boat, on the bus, hanging out, our 50-minute game is actually an 8-hour game. These girls grow up together, they learn to work together, they learn how to travel together. It's one of the better organizations on the island, and I'm proud to say I was a part of it.
Look, this doesn't happen without you. We love the sport. We love what we're doing as a group. As I say, the board is extremely passionate, not just about lacrosse, but at building up community, a lacrosse community inside of Nantucket's community. So thank you. We're very appreciative.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com. Underwriting support for the NSC is brought to you in part by MIAA, the largest full-service law firm in Central Mass, also serving the Cape and Islands. Visit MIAAlaw.com to learn how MIAA can assist you with your legal needs. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com. Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round.
And welcome back to Vito Capizzo Stadium. Along with Maddie Lombardi, I'm DC Collinson for Chris Morris this afternoon. We have a 7-0 lead for the Nantucket Whalers as we start the third quarter here in Senior Day for boys lacrosse. Hey, a reminder, you can find out more information if you'd like to help sponsor these broadcasts on the NSC and NCTV. You can email sports@rnctv.org. That's sports@OURNCTV.org. Stop by our business offices located on Bayberry Court right behind Sophie T's and across from the Chicken Box during regular business hours. We'd love to have you participate and help fund these broadcasts for Nantucket Whalers Athletics, especially the playoff coming up next week. And we've got the football schedule set to go in the fall as well. And we'll broadcast all the home games. rnctv.org. Here's a shot and a score as Martha's Vineyard gets on the board. Turnover there, and Halby makes it count as he puts it by Jeremy Jenkinson. And the Vineyarders are finally on the scoreboard. It's a 7-1 lead, though, still for Nantucket with 11:31 remaining here in the third quarter. Just sort of, Maddie, a little collapse on defense by the Whalers. You can see all the defenders are sort of a little frustrated. They wanted to keep that shutout for Jenkinson. Still lots of time to play, but he was really sturdy and net a turnover, and Halby got it right by him.
Yeah, just a little fumble of the ball there. I think just a little misunderstanding.
So Nantucket still with a 6-goal lead, 7-1, and 11:31 to go in the third quarter. Nantucket comes into today's matchup with a record of 14-3. They beat Pembroke 10-3 on Thursday. Their only 3 losses, 2 to Falmouth and 1 to Shrewsbury. Right now they're number 2 in Division 4. Martha's Vineyard with a record of 5-12. And a whistle as player gets taken down. So Nantucket will have it. This is Jenkinson. Jenkinson moving forward with it. Guarded there by Gregory. To the near side, they whip it around. Mooney. Mooney trying to make a move past his man. That's Medeiros. They get it over to Moskrop. Ball is still loose, and it's picked up by the Vineyard. Here's Bueller. Bueller with some room to work with. Bueller gets it over to Callan. Callan tic-tac-toe passing shot there. That one was taken by Halby. Jenkinson makes the save.
Big push there by the Vineyard. You can tell they want to score. They want to cut this lead.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard's come out with a little extra fire here in the third quarter, especially after scoring that goal. This shot sails high and wide. Goes out of bounds. 10-13 to play here in the third. Still a 7-1 lead for the Whalers. Whalers still with possession. And so they'll move it counterclockwise. That pass gets away, though, from Grant, and a turnover. And you can hear down below us the players in purple making a little bit of noise here on the sideline, trying to get some momentum going. Lots of time to play here in this contest. 10 minutes to go in the third. Vineyard down, though, 7-1. But they've scored the first and only goal so far here in the third quarter. Calheda with it. Being pushed aside. Now triple team. Moskrop a part of that for the Whalers. Now splitting the defense is Bueller. Bueller just running right past Edwards. Bueller still with it. Pass goes astray, and a timeout is called by Martha's Vineyard right before they lost possession. So the Vineyard trying to recoup right now. They trail 7-1, 9:32 to go in the third quarter. And this is a different Martha's Vineyard team than we saw in the first half, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, Bueller's really exploding from defense. You can tell he wants to score. He wants his team to score. So I think the Whalers just got to realize that energy that they had in the first half is what they need right now, because the Vineyard's coming out with more than they had.
Yeah, Vineyard coming out with some fire, as we mentioned, and just a little bit more steam. And they scored the first goal here in the third quarter, and a little bit more physical from the players in purple for Martha's Vineyard here in the third quarter as well. We didn't have any penalties in the first half, which was great. Things started to heat up a little bit towards the end of the second quarter. But right now, Martha's Vineyard rough and tumble and trying to take it to the Whalers to get back into this contest. They trail 7-1. They called timeout, 9:32 to go here in the third quarter. And it will be Vineyard's possession after the timeout called.
Yeah, composure is key here for the Whalers.
We'll see how this one develops, as Jenkinson will head back to the net. With it right now is Lakis. Gets it off to Callan. They whip it around counterclockwise. Now up top, here's Moan. Moan being guarded there by Nantucket's Paxton Fitch. Here's a shot from deep. Bounces in and scores. William Hoff with the goal. The sophomore connects. And the first two goals here in the third quarter have been scored by Martha's Vineyard. They still trail 7-2 with 9:15 to go in the third quarter. But the Vineyard with a little extra moxie, some pep in their step here in the first couple of minutes of this second half. And that timeout certainly helped them. You would have thought, all right, maybe the Whalers call timeout because they're being pushed around just a little bit. But so far, Nantucket still with a 5-goal lead, but Martha's Vineyard on the prowl. And a whistle, and Martha's Vineyard will get possession again.
Looking for some big moves here with Whalers defense. We need that ball.
They need a sustained offensive possession, too, like they had in the first half. And so far, it's been all Martha's Vineyard on offense. Now a whistle and a push, and the Whalers will get possession here. Maybe this is the key turnaround that the Whalers need here to sort of refocus, reset and refocus. Hanlon with it for the Whalers. They're in white, moving left to right. Martha's Vineyard in purple, moving right to left. Hanlon still with it. Here's a shot. There's a goal right there by Nantucket. Good answer by the Whalers. Jake Grant gets another one.
What a shot.
And Whalers up 8-2 right now with 8:48 to go in the third quarter. So it's like, okay, we got this. Don't worry. As the Whalers answer in a quick fashion here, just a few seconds after Martha's Vineyard scored their goal.
Yeah, great response by the Whalers there. Just got to keep that up.
So another face-off at midfield. And again, that was key passing, started with Hanlon. Gets it over to Grant. Grant takes his time, fires the shot.
Yeah, that key ball movement is what we need.
Whistle procedure penalty. Nantucket will get possession. Stringer and Miller will check back in for Nantucket. Here's Hanlon with it. Gives it off to Stringer. Stringer takes a look around, moves to the left-hand side, guarded there by Sava. Stringer still moving. Stringer still moving, fires the shot. That one goes in the back of the net. That was all Noah Stringer. The senior gets another goal, and now Nantucket is back up by 7. 9-2 Whalers, 8:22 to go in the third quarter. So, all right, the first 3 minutes, Whalers looked discombobulated, confused. Now it looks like the team for Nantucket that we saw in the first half, Maddie.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely getting their composure back. They know what they got to do, and they're just going to beat this Vineyard team, it looks like.
So another face-off and midfield. Loose, knocked around. Who's got it? Gregory can't control it. Now he does pick it up for Martha's Vineyard. Up ahead, Medeiros. Medeiros, plenty of room to work with. Medeiros thought about the shot, now hands it off. Gives it to Callan. Being double teamed as he's chased around. Good speed though, fires the shot. That one whistles wide. But good speed right there by number 5, Finn Callan, the senior, the attacker. Another possession here for the Vineyarders. Nantucket 9, Martha's Vineyard 2, 7:45 to go in the third quarter. Callan thought about the shot, now fires one. That one bounces up over the crossbar and out of bounds, but still possession for MV. This is Waldman. Yates on him. Yates still swinging, trying to knock the ball out of the stick. Counterclockwise they go. This is Moan with it. Moan guarded there by Whitfield. Moan sends a pass, and that one skips past Waldman. Goes out of bounds, and so another turnover, and Nantucket will have it coming the other way. Jenkinson, the goalkeeper, thought about the home run pass. Now gets it up ahead, and it goes over the head of Yates. But no harm, no foul as Nantucket gets possession. But that pass goes over the head, that time of Mooney, and out of bounds. So Martha's Vineyard will move the other way. Whalers 9, Martha's Vineyard 2, 7 minutes remaining in the third. Lakis with it. Lakis over to Callan. Callan had it knocked out of his stick, and just a host of white jerseys right there to pick up the ball. That's the thing, the collapsing defense. Another turnover, though. Vineyard has it. Here's Lakis, and it's knocked away. Good defense there by Jenkinson. Jenkinson has it, moving ahead for the Whalers. Into the offensive end. Jenkinson still with it, spins away from one man. Jenkinson off to the right-hand side, shot. And that one taken there by Moskroff. But it goes out of bounds, but the Whalers will still have possession.
Great ball movement by the Whalers there. You could tell the Vineyard was hungry for that goal, but the Whalers got that back.
And there's another goal right there by Nantucket. They now lead 10-2 with 6:22 remaining here in the third quarter. A quick strike by the Whalers. And all of a sudden they're back up now, this time by 8 goals. Yeah, the third quarter started with 2 straight goals by Martha's Vineyard within 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden Nantucket said, okay, what's this? It's kind of like they came out slow in the third quarter and reset, sort of reconditioned themselves. And now this looks like the Whalers team that we saw the first 24 minutes of the first half.
For sure. And leaving Hanlon open like that, you know you're going to get scored on.
Another face-off, ball bouncing around. And it is almost picked up. Oh, a big hit, though, as Bouchard hits the deck for Nantucket. Foul against Martha's Vineyard, so here come the Whalers. Slow it down a bit with Whitfield, the junior. Off to the left-hand side, some crisp passing for Nantucket. Knocked away, though. Good defense there by Bueller. Recovered, though, by the Whalers. Jenkinson with it. Actually, that is firing the shot, Moscrop. And that one goes wide, and our first penalty flag of this afternoon. And this will go against Martha's Vineyard as the clock is stopped. Unnecessary roughness against Martha's Vineyard. 5:46 to play in the third quarter. Nantucket up 10-2. And a penalty up on the board against Martha's Vineyard. It'll be a 1-minute penalty release against Griffin Bueller, the junior. So let's see what Nantucket can do here as they're a man up. And the Whalers up by 8. Clock running now with 5:40 to go in the third. Up top with it is Moscrop. Shot goes wide. Nantucket still with possession. 5:34 to play in the third quarter. Bueller still serving the 43 seconds remaining on his penalty for unnecessary roughness. Whalers working the perimeter right now. Finally get it inside. The shot bounces up there, and a good save there by Tabaris. Intercepted, though. Nantucket coming the other way. Here's another shot, and that one sails wide. Lots of mustard on that one by Grant, but it goes out of bounds. 19 seconds on the man up for Nantucket. 5:05 to play in the third. Whalers up 10-2.
Some great looks there for the Whalers. We just got to finish that out.
And the passing has been superb. 5 seconds remaining on the man up for Nantucket. Bueller ready to come out. Actually, Bueller will stay on the bench, and Lacus will go back on the field. So we're back to full strength for both sides. 10-2 Nantucket, 4:44 remaining here in the third quarter. It'll be Martha's Vineyard possession. Moscrop comes over to the bench a little bit frustrated, takes his helmet off. Vineyard looking to get something going. Again, they scored the first 2 goals here in the third quarter, but since then it's been all Nantucket. It was a 7-0 lead for the Whalers going into halftime. Likas hits the deck, gets back up. Nice recovery, though. Into the offensive end. Some pushing, some shoving, and a turnover as Likas stepped out of bounds, so Nantucket will have it. He's getting a little bit rougher out there on the field. Big hit. Stringer absorbs that for Nantucket. Hanlon, tic-tac-toe passing. Another shot, another score. The assist by Hanlon and the goal by Marco Lacusa. And the Whalers now up 11-2 with 4:13 remaining here in the third quarter. And so the Whalers pouring it on here in the third. Up by 9 right now, and you saw that crisp passing. And really, Tabaris, the goalkeeper, didn't have a chance. It was 2-on-0.
Yeah, that was some great movement by the Whalers.
Over at the baseball field, they're in the bottom of the second, a 2-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard over Nantucket as they move to the top of the third inning. Of course, that game live right now with Dick Herman and Charles Douglas. You can catch that on Xfinity Channel 1072, also on the NSC YouTube channel, Nantucket Sports Connection, and NCTV. Here at Vito Capizzo Stadium, 4 minutes to go in the third. Whalers with a comfortable lead over Martha's Vineyard, 11-2. I'm DC Collins along with Maddie Lombardi here on Nantucket. Final regular season game for both of these teams. As Tyler Miller has it out in front. Another shot. Good save there by Tabaris. Ball ricochets high in the air. Nantucket just looking so much faster, but now a penalty flag. And I believe this will go against the Whalers. Slashing call against Tyler Miller of Nantucket. So here's an opportunity for the Vineyard to be a man up. Nantucket was a man up earlier in the third, couldn't capitalize. So Miller will sit for a minute. 3:39 remaining in the third quarter on the game clock, and a 11-2 lead here for the Whalers. So with this comfortable lead, 9 goals, Whalers just need to stay composed.
For sure. I mean, there's some Vineyard fans in the crowd. I can tell they're trying to get under their skin, so they just got to play their own game. They can't let anybody get in their heads.
Yeah, don't let the distractions get to you, especially with a 9-goal lead.
Yeah, there's no need.
Play smart. Somebody says something to you, gives it a little extra bump, just walk away.
Exactly.
Save it for the playoffs. Because right there, it's one and done. This game comfortably in hand right now for Nantucket. Vineyard with a bit of a spurt to start the third quarter with 2 straight goals, but Nantucket has definitely answered. Ball is loose. It's still loose. And it's picked up by Nantucket. Good job by Fitch. And a timeout, I believe, taken by Nantucket. So still 25 seconds on the man up for the Vineyard. 3:04 to go in the third quarter. An 11-2 lead right here for the Whalers over Martha's Vineyard. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with the rest of the third quarter right after this here on the NSC and NCTV.
I am a force to be reckoned with. You do not know who you messing with. Taking over for the hell of it. They can stop me when I'm in my element.
The Nantucket Sports Connection was born in this gymnasium. It has absolutely exploded. Multi-camera, multi-broadcasters, a trip to Fenway.
It's giving players an opportunity to look back at film. It's giving coaches an opportunity to critique their players.
When NCTV got involved, we were able to offer free classes. It's something that they can actually evolve and get professional experience.
When I realized they were doing like a commentating class, I was like, I gotta sign up for this. If I would have told myself right now, I'm gonna go into college for sports broadcast, I would have been like, no, you're not. But now I'm really passionate about it and I'd love to pursue it.
It doesn't even feel like I'm volunteering, it just feels like I'm playing along. It's very fun.
I definitely recommend it to anybody who's interested in sports broadcasting.
It's multifaceted what we're able to give back to our community, because as we know, we bleed Whaler blue here on Nantucket.
Back here at Vito Capizzo Stadium on Nantucket. We've got 3:01 to go in the third quarter. Clock running, 11-2 Nantucket on top of Martha's Vineyard. I'm DC Collins along with Maddie Lombardi. Aspen Silva on camera today. I want to let you know, over at the baseball field, it is a 2-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard over Nantucket as they move to the bottom of the third inning. That game on channel 1072. Also on our YouTube page as well. Here it's been all Whalers this afternoon, except for a little bit of a spark from Martha's Vineyard to start the third quarter where they scored 2 goals in a row. But Nantucket has certainly answered. Here's Lacusa with it for Nantucket. Being chased there by Bueller. Off to the near side, that's Miller. Miller still with it. Penalty is over, so both teams back to full strength. Penalty flag has been thrown once against both teams here in the third quarter as this ball goes out of bounds. And so it'll be Martha's Vineyard possession. Whalers 14-3. They won against Pembroke on Thursday. Their 2 losses this season, 1 to Shrewsbury and 2 to Falmouth. And Martha's Vineyard coming into today's game with a record of 5-12. Ball's still loose. Hoff has it. Hoff over to Callan. And that pass goes awry, but it'll still be Martha's Vineyard possession.
Vineyard hungry to score.
Yeah, they're trying to stick with it. And again, they came out in the third quarter, guns blazing, but Nantucket sort of recovered after the first 2 or 3 minutes and said, okay, we got this. And so here comes Nantucket the other way. Ball's still loose. It's picked up by Callan. It's a little bit of a whack there by Jenkinson. Off to the near side. Halby with it. Now to Lacus. Black is trying to move in. Ball gets bumped out of his stick. Recovers. Shot saved there by Jenkinson. So steady in net. Look out. Here comes Nantucket the other way. On the break. Edwards has it. Lots of room to work with. Edwards passes up ahead. Bounces there. Lacusa can't control. Does he keep it in bounds? No. Whistle and Martha's Vineyard possession. Whalers 11, Vineyarders 2. Clock running with 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Picked up again by Edwards. His pass knocked around. Who's got it? Still a battle for it. And Nantucket comes away with it. This is Mooney. Over to Hanlon. Hanlon will retreat with 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nantucket looking for the last shot possibly here in the third. Down to 10 seconds. Hanlon makes the move. Shot, and that one sails wide. Thrown on net by Grant. Clock stops, 4.9 left here in the third. And so this will be Martha's Vineyard possession. Let's see if they go for the home run pass. This one flung all the way down, takes a bounce, and the buzzer sounds, and we have reached the end of the third quarter here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Nantucket 11, Martha's Vineyard 2. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes of the fourth quarter right after these words. You're watching Nantucket Boys Lacrosse here on the NSC and NCTV.
Nantucket Ice is about community, camaraderie, confidence, jumping in and being part of a team, falling but getting back up.
And way under control. Quick shot.
It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island, it's about being a future for our youth, our families, our community. Come join us, be a part of our community.
Back here at Vito Capizzo Stadium, along with Aspen Silva on camera and Maddie Lombardi, my broadcast partner. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris this afternoon. Nantucket leading Martha's Vineyard 11-2, 12 minutes up on the board as we're ready to start the fourth quarter of action. Over on the baseball side, Martha's Vineyard still up 2-0 on Nantucket as they are in the bottom of the third inning. You can catch coverage of that game on Xfinity Channel 1072 on Comcast Cable and also on our NSC YouTube channel. A reminder, if you'd like to sponsor any of these broadcasts, be an underwriter, you can do so. Just stop by our offices, regular business hours at 9 Bayberry Court, right behind Sophie T's Pizza, across from the Chicken Box on Dave Street, and right up the parking lot from Wicked Island Bakery. Did you get any morning buns since you've been home from Wicked Island Bakery?
I need to get one.
Yeah, well, you can wait in line like the rest of us for 40 or 45 minutes. But Heather over there, they do a great job. And, yes, I am craving one of those as well. Maybe, though, if we have a morning game next weekend, maybe we can grab one, grab a few. But, yes, if you'd like to be a sponsor of our broadcast, an underwriter, 9 Bayberry Court on Nantucket, or you can email sports@rnctv.org. That's sports@OURNCTV.org. Love to have you on board for any playoff games we have this spring, and especially for the football schedule that's coming out in the fall to help us broadcast Nantucket athletics. So clock running, 11:15 to go, fourth quarter. Whalers 11 and Martha's Vineyard 2. Jenkinson has been solid in net for Nantucket this afternoon. Stringer now with the ball for the Whalers as they move it around clockwise. On the near side, here's Miller. Back up top. Stringer with it. Stringer over to Edwards. They whip it behind, and here's Grant. Gets it back to Miller. Whalers content with just running some clock here as they've got a lead of 11-2 with 10:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Ball loose on the ground. It is lifted up high in the air. Picked up this time by Miller. Miller gets double team, now triple team. Miller still with it. Ball knocked out of his stick, and the Vineyarders have control. Good possession by Nantucket. They just come up empty. And so now here's Tavares with it. Clock still running. 10:14 to go in the fourth. Whalers up 11-2. Up ahead with it, here's Hoff. Hoff for Martha's Vineyard. Gets it over to Moan. Here's Lakis. Lakis with the shot, and that one easily handled by Jenkinson. And we will go the other way. Nantucket on the move. Pass goes high over the head, intended for Mosscrop. But the possession will go the way of the Vineyarders. So again, Nantucket with a record of 14-3 coming into today's game. Losses to Shrewsbury and Falmouth twice, but they've clinched a spot in the MIAA playoffs, so we anticipate a home game here at Vito Capizzo Stadium next Friday or Saturday. We'll have coverage for you here on the NSC and NCTV. Girls lacrosse, too, looking good. They've qualified for the MIAA playoffs. Should have a home game here, too. As that pass goes astray, and it's picked up this time by Nantucket's Lacuzza. Nice spin move. So he gets it over this time to Grant. Grant behind the net. Out in front, here's Smith. Smith will just peel back and hand it off to Hanlon. Nantucket leads 11-2, 9:05 to go in the fourth. Smith up top this time for Hanlon. Far side. Mosscrop. Guarded by Lakis. Mosscrop spins, fires a shot. That one goes wide. Whalers still with possession, though. 8:45 to go in the fourth. Gavin Smith has it. To Mooney. Gregory on him. Mooney gets past him. Mooney on the far side. And they swing it back across. Near side is Grant to Smith. Nantucket just playing keep away, but here's Smith trying to make a move. Gavin Smith hands it off, and it's knocked around off the stick of Lacuzza and intercepted, and here comes Martha's Vineyard the other way. Bueller with a head of steam into the offensive end. Knocked down by Hanlon, no call there, and Nantucket will grab the turnover. Jenkinson blowing past defenders. Jenkinson now to Grant. Grant still with it. Ball knocked out of his stick. Loose ball. Grant doing his best to muscle away Albies, but Martha's Vineyard will have it, and Tavares will reset for the Vineyarders. Pass, though, intercepted. Lacuzza with it for Nantucket. Moving right to left in white. Down to 7:37 to play in the fourth quarter. 11-2 Nantucket, and the shot saved there by Tavares. Good possessions, Maddie, by Nantucket. Almost looking for that perfect goal, though. I know they want to eat some clock off, but they've had a couple of opportunities.
Yeah, I can tell they're looking for that 10-goal lead, but they're staying composed on offense, and I think that's working for them, but they got to finish this out.
Have an opportunity right here as Jenkinson with it in the offensive end. Now behind the net is Grant. Grant goes in front. Grant trying to make a move, and it will just pass off to Hanlon. Back to Stringer. Stringer's had a couple of goals this afternoon for Nantucket. We're down to 6:46 to play in the fourth quarter. Nantucket 11, Martha's Vineyard 2. Stringer works his way behind the goal. Tavares, the goalkeeper for Martha's Vineyard, takes a peek there. Stringer, turnaround shot, knocked away. Good deflection, and here's Moan with it. Moan gets knocked down, players hit the deck, whistle, and penalty flag is thrown. And let's see what this is all about. Nantucket 11, Martha's Vineyard 2, 6:26 to go in the fourth. 30-second penalty against Stringer for a push. Officials say something to the Nantucket sideline too. Nantucket's got to be smart. They've got a 9-goal lead, comfortably ahead. You don't want to ruffle any feathers, especially when it comes to playoff matches. And I will say this, having broadcast games at the high school level, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New England, Massachusetts, some of these officials remember what was said earlier in the regular season. And, you know, when you go out for the handshake like you ladies do in basketball, it's, you know, you shake their hand, but they also give you that little wink like, yeah, I remember what you said last time, whether it be good or bad. You know,
Definitely.
Sometimes like, hey, great game last time, but also, you know, if you're a little harsh with the officials, they remember that coming down the road, and you certainly don't want to give that bad impression heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, every game you're leaving your mark as a player.
Exactly. Want to do it with respect, too, and dignity. So 5:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. An 11-2 lead for Nantucket. And the Whalers will have it. A couple of substitutions for both teams now. Home run pass way up ahead as they get it to Edwards. Edwards with a ton of room to work with. Edwards to the right-hand side. Oh, they tried to get it back to Hanlon for a one-time shot. Couldn't connect, but it's picked up by Miller. Good recovery by Nantucket. Behind the net, Grant in his wheelhouse to Hanlon. Hanlon fires the shot, and that one deflected off the stick of Tabaris and goes all the way up to the parking lot towards the back of the school. And so Nantucket will still have it. Another shot, that one whistles wide. That one was taken there by Moskrop. 5:18 remaining in the fourth. Whalers 11, Vineyarders 2. Hanlon now with it. Hanlon guarded there by Gregory. Hanlon getting pushed. Still has it. 4:55, 4:54 to go in the fourth. Shot that one over the crossbar. Good find there, but Mooney couldn't connect.
Getting a lot of shot opportunities here on offense, but we just got to execute them.
Yeah, it looks like they're wearing Martha's Vineyard down just a little bit, a little more stamina from the Whalers as we go through with 4:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Martha's Vineyard had that spark coming out of the field house as that shot is in the back of the net by Grant. Tabaris got a piece of it, but Grant scores, and Jake Grant puts Nantucket ahead by 10. 12-2 Whalers, 4:34 to go in the fourth quarter. As I was mentioning, third quarter started with a spark for the Vineyarders. They came out with the first 2 goals, made it 7-2, but after the timeout, Nantucket said, okay, we got this now, and it's been all Whalers since then.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to stop this Whalers offense. They're really unstoppable, so they've really come out with that fire that the Vineyard started with, and they really just took it away from them.
So another face-off here at midfield. Knocked around. And Nantucket picks it up. They've got possession. Grant with it again. And the Whalers will just try to drain this clock as it's running with 4:16 to play in the fourth quarter. Grant to Hanlon. Hanlon tries to spin away twice. Hanlon still with it. Hanlon gets it knocked off as he gets triple teamed. Ball flies high up in the air. Still loose. And LaCusa has it. And we'll just retreat and reset for Nantucket. They lead 12-2. We're down to 3:50 to go here in regulation. Far side to Grant. Mooney now with it. Mooney fires a shot, and that one bounces over the crossbar and out of play. But Nantucket still will regain possession. Top of the fifth inning over at baseball, right down the street. Martha's Vineyard still with a 2-0 lead over Nantucket as they move now to the bottom of the fifth inning. Again, that game available on the NSC and NCTV's YouTube channel and also Xfinity Channel 1072. We welcome you into NCTV Civic Channel 8. I'm DC Collins in for Chris Morris, along with Maddie Lombardi, Aspen Silva on camera. Here at Vito Capizzo Stadium this Saturday afternoon. Boys lacrosse on senior day, and a 12-2 lead now for Nantucket. We're down to the final 3 minutes to go in this contest. Nantucket will have an MIAA playoff game. Time to be determined and date to be determined. We know it'll be here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. It'll either be Friday afternoon or Saturday, and we'll have that game for you here on the NSC and NCTV. This is Smith with it. Smith guarded by Gregory. Gregory pokes it away. Good defense. And can Gregory grab control? Yes, he can. This will be the first time the Vineyarders have been in Nantucket's offensive zone in what seems like forever. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes off of the game clock. Vineyard moving left to right across your screen in purple. Whalers wearing their home whites, trimmed in blue. And Martha's Vineyard with possession. Moan with it.
Looks like we have Nick Weisentainer in goal now.
So a substitution for Nantucket. As Weisentainer gets his opportunity here with Nantucket up by 10. Here's the shot, saved by Weisentainer off the leg. And so Nantucket will get possession with 1:50 to go. I'm going to say brother of Sam, relative of Sam?
Yes, and
okay.
Alex Weisentainer.
Gotcha. There's a shot there. That was taken by Lacusa. And now a whistle as sticks get up high. And Nantucket has to be smart right here. They're up by 10 goals. We're down to 1:39 to go. It was a big hit on Lacusa. Didn't appreciate that, but a penalty flag. An unnecessary roughness penalty against Martha's Vineyard, and it'll be locked, meaning Nantucket can score as many times as they want, and that player will not come out of the penalty area. And a little bit of chatter from Lakis of Martha's Vineyard. Again, Whalers only have 1:39 here in the fourth quarter. If I'm Nantucket again, I'm not Coach Aloisi. I just hold this ball and just play ring around the rosy right now and play keep away.
Definitely.
No need to rub it in. No need to score an extra goal whatsoever. If you turn it over, oh well, you're up by 10 goals. Just be smart right here. No need for any more physical play, and I think that's what Nantucket's going to do as they lead 12-2 with 1:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Again, in the box is Griffin Bueller for Martha's Vineyard, number 35. Unnecessary roughness. It's a locked penalty, too. So if this game was closer, yes, Nantucket could score as many times as they want. They still can. But here, just the smart thing to do is play keep away as we're down to 64 seconds. Shot on goal, and that one goes wide. And Nantucket will keep possession. Clock running, we're down to 60 seconds. Hanlon behind the back shot, and that one goes wide. Down to 55 seconds remaining. Nantucket still with possession. Working around the perimeter, another shot, and that one goes wide too. 5 seconds remaining on the penalty. 44 seconds remaining in the game. Here's another shot. Good block there by Tabaris. And it's still loose, and Martha's Vineyard will have it. Player is released. We're back to full strength. 12-2 Nantucket. 27 seconds to go here in this matchup. Lakis with it. Lakis being pushed there by Grant. Sticks flying around. Down to 13 seconds to play. And now a little rough stuff here, which is unnecessary. And now getting the stick up high, that is Grant against Alves of Martha's Vineyard, and the stick's still getting up high. And penalty flags are out, and again, exactly what you don't want to happen if you're the Whalers here. You're up by 10 goals, just try to walk away. So we'll try to sort this out. Again, Nantucket leading 12-2, 12.1 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The sticks got up high, so I assume multiple penalties, but we'll wait for the official's call here as he comes over towards the sidelines. So 2 minutes unsportsmanlike locked penalties for both Rory Lakis of Martha's Vineyard and Jake Grant of Nantucket. Grant over on the sidelines, Lakis over on the sidelines. And the officials will pick it up. And Martha's Vineyard, the coach for Martha's Vineyard, Curtis Chandler, says we're done. They don't want to play the final 12.1 seconds.
Wow.
So the official will drop the ball. Clock's down to 3 seconds, and that's probably the smartest thing to do. Buzzer sounds. Nantucket wins it today, 12-2 over Martha's Vineyard. So, again, what we saw in the final minute, not to take anything away from Nantucket, but. And now we've got the coaches talking with each other, Curtis Chandler and Sam Aloisi. And so the officials stepping in, and Martha's Vineyard, both teams lining up for the handshake, but let's see how this plays out. There may not be a handshake after this one, as Nantucket dominated, but things got chippy towards the end.
So it's coming with this island rivalry.
It is, and that's, squish the grapes, harpoon the whales. We hear it all the time, and unfortunately, in a solid effort by the Whalers towards the end of the game, got marred by some penalties, some unsportsmanlike conducts, and
A little too intense.
yeah, some things being said. And what I'll say about this is Nantucket had the ball with about a minute to go. Could have just played keep away. They took some shots. Martha's Vineyard didn't like that too much and responded a little bit more physically than they probably should have as well. Officials got in the middle. They threw the flags, unsportsmanlike lock penalties, and the officials will watch very closely as the two teams handshake. But just something that wasn't necessary whatsoever. And if you're Nantucket, I think you got to be the bigger and the smarter team because you lead by 10. You're the team that's going to be playing next week if you're the Whalers, this boys lacrosse team. Martha's Vineyard is not. They fall to 5-13, but Nantucket has the opportunity to go pretty far in the MIAA playoffs. And the last thing you want is for a not-so-smart penalty or action to take place that penalizes your team or a certain player for the Whalers going into the playoffs.
Yep.
So got to think a little bit more towards the end of the contest. But that's what happens with this rivalry. It's Martha's Vineyard, it's Nantucket, it's the Hatfields, it's the McCoys. You know how this is going to play out.
It's always chippy.
It is always chippy, and unfortunately, with Nantucket winning by 10 goals, 12-2 today, it was, it's tainted just a little bit by what happened in the final 90 seconds. But coaches are talking in midfield, Sam Aloisi for Nantucket and Curtis Chandler. Hopefully they will shake hands as well, and yes, Aloisi just patted him on the back. Officials talking to some of the captains of Martha's Vineyard as well. But Nantucket with a solid win today. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's happened with Jenkinson in net. Obviously a solid performance. The offense came through. A chance for Wisson-Tanner to come in at the end of the game, which means you've got a comfortable lead. So an overall big, solid effort by Nantucket.
For sure. I mean, you can see successes on all ends. I think our defense, the Whalers' defense was very strong. Obviously, Jenkinson in net, Wisson-Tanner going in. And obviously the offense, Aaron Hanlon, Nolan Mosscrop, they all just killed it today.
And a solid effort all around. Good spread out offense, goals by some of the seniors as they are honored here before the game with a pregame ceremony, honoring those Whalers seniors and their contributions, not just in lacrosse, but as student athletes as well, and the other sports that they played too throughout the season, starting in the fall, winter, and here in the spring. So Martha's Vineyard drops to 5-13. Nantucket wins at 12-2. They are now 15-3 overall, with their only losses to Shrewsbury and 2 to Falmouth. They will be in the MIAA playoffs at a time and date to be determined, most likely on Friday or next Saturday. We'll have that broadcast for you here on the NSC and NCTV. I want to thank Aspen Silva for running the camera today. He hopefully will be with us next week as well. Maddie Lombardi, thank you so much. Hope to have you back.
Yes, I'll be back.
And she'll be here all summer, guarding the beaches on Nantucket as well, and then back to Marist College in Poughkeepsie. I'm DC Collins, filling in for Chris Morris this afternoon on the NSC and NCTV. Final score for the final time, Nantucket wins it over Martha's Vineyard, 12-2. Stay tuned. We will have a playoff game for you next Friday or Saturday right here on the NSC and NCTV. Have a great afternoon, Whalers Nation.
Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV over the past few years have done countless broadcasts that are both exciting and professional.
Shot, score! Jack Halleck!
I support NCTV's Nantucket Sports Connection because it's a great opportunity to reach island families, support students, and our local television station.